Let's talk about reactivity. And I'm specifically thinking about post awakening, Kensho or Fetters 1, 2, and 3, when those have fallen, when you've seen through the illusion of the separate self. Then the next fetters to work on are Fetter 4 and 5. And really, we're unfettering ourselves from it. So it's not an obstruction to what's here now, which is enlightenment. Always the case. Perfect takes care of itself. So after awakening is a lot of shadow work that takes place. And depending on your particular flavor of repressed emotion, it might take longer in clock time or shorter. But repressed emotion will want to come out. It will need to come out if you pursue deeper stage realization. And so full disclosure, I'm working through Fetter 4 and 5 now. This is real-time live updates from a Fetter weakening. The Fetter has weakened. It has not completely broke through. And there's so much inspiration and clarity coming through. And yet so much remains. Does so much remain? Who knows? It doesn't matter. What's right here now is what remains to really sit with. And at the crux of it, it's sensation. So in Fetter 4 and 5, we're looking at ill will and desire. What do I want and what do I not want? And how can I change reality, this nowness, this living experience? How can I change it to be more like how it should be? Because something should be happening that's not, or something shouldn't be happening that is. This is the prison most of us are caught in. And we don't even know why we're so tired at the end of the night, why our feet ache, why existentially our little existential feet ache, is because we're constantly looking at the now, leapfrogging past our own sensation, our own emotion, if you will, our own feeling state, and saying that a person or an experience needs to be different. For me, it's my sweetheart, it's my children, it's the state of the house. For you, it could be at work, it could be the boss, it could be the colleagues, it could be your lover, your spouse, it could be your best friends. Why'd they say it like that? They could have been more comforting. Could be the food when it arrives at the restaurant. It should be warmer. It was supposed to look better. Whatever it is. Something that life is serving up is not okay just as it is. Here is reactivity. And it can look like a lot of things. For a lot of us, it's anger, maybe sadness, maybe a freeze response, maybe there's a stress response, maybe fleeing, trying to get away from the sensation we're feeling, but we're calling it what the person is doing or what the experience is about, what's unfolding in experience. Reactivity can also look like fawning. A shout out to my dear friend who loves truth, Pia, who reminded me about this. Fawning. So suddenly we people please because there's a lot of sensation coming up inside that scares us. We don't quite know what to do. Maybe thoughts are coming on saying, oh my gosh, how do I handle this person? How do I handle this experience? And so instead we fawn. We sort of over attune codependently and just sort of like, we go offline and we lie about authentically what's here. And it's let me fawn to this person or this experience, placate, pacify, so that I don't have to feel what's here. That is also reactivity, which I found really, fascinating. Like, wow, it even looks like that. It's not always just irritability and argument and being uncooperative and just kind of losing your stuff, right? Losing it, whatever that looks like for you. And so I want to talk about sensation, okay? Here's the beautiful thing about reactivity work. And you can absolutely do this Fetter 4 and 5 inquiry and reactivity work before awakening. Awakening being literally waking up to the fact that you are not a separate character in the world of life and you need to constantly take care of that character. No, you are life. You are this moment. That's it. The only thing real about you is this moment. And there's only one moment. So to even say this is extraneous. That is awakening. Now we can work on reactivity before that, but it can only weaken. Okay. And an ego that thinks it's a separate identity that has weakened its reactivity. I mean, that's pleasant. There's nothing wrong with that. In fact, I'd rather hang out with an ego. I'm thinking about Adyashanti. I feel like he's made a joke like this. I'd rather hang out with an ego that's weakened the Fetter 4 and 5 than with an ego that hasn't. So if you're listening to this and you're curious about Fetter 4 and 5 work, and for whatever reason you're not compelled to go right for the jugular, which is awakening, great. Just follow your gut about all of this. It doesn't matter what anyone else says, right? But the Fetter 4 and 5, it cannot fully break until Fetter 1, 2, and 3 have. And here's why. It is linked to a separate self. It's linked to that. It typically goes way back to childhood, but it's linked to those earliest charged moments when emotion, when sensation came on, and for whatever reason, we had to leapfrog past it to reaction, to this is not okay. It should be different. I am not okay. I shouldn't be feeling this. Life in the moment should be different than this. This person should be different, right? So because it's linked to that particular character that then has habits, preferences, all these different things, the fetter can't fully fall until you have dispelled the illusion of the ego, until you've seen fully through it. Okay, so that's what I want to say about that. Here's what's incredible about being in this experience of weakening Fetter 4 and 5. Boots on the ground. I am noticing so potently, so vividly, that in a moment, okay, where a lot of uncomfortable sensation comes up, or I want something to be different, I am leapfrogging past sensation, okay? As a dear friend says, I'm literally going dead. I'm going dead. I'm leapfrogging past sensation in the body, here now, and I'm going into thought world, and I'm arguing. I'm saying, you should be different, this should be different, or I want more of this, okay? I want you to be more like this, or I want more of this experience. And in those moments, I literally have no idea what's going on in the body. I'm not connected to sensation, okay? And it's only in reflection later, if it was a real hot trigger, that I realized, oh my God, I was dead. I literally went dead, all right? If you are not connected to sensation, without resistance, or to whatever degree you can accept it and be with what is, it's like you are dead. Thoughts are dead, okay? Only occupying, existence only experienced in thought world is dead, okay? You're not alive. And when you come back into a sense of sensation in the body, it's like, oh yeah, my heart's beating, I'm breathing, there's feelings here, maybe a tightness in the chest, maybe a gripping at your throat, maybe a pleasant buzz in the belly. That is being alive, being connected with beingness, and not needing a thought to tell you that. You're sensating, you're sensing, literally. Okay, so that's one realization that keeps popping off. The other one is that when you're doing this precise fetter work, and I highly recommend Kevin Shanilak's step-by-step process. He's so clear and crisp about this. This is the work. You can do self-inquiry. You can also find a facilitator or a guide. That is what I have availed myself to, Miss Pia, and she's amazing. But you can do this on your own, or find a friend that loves truth, and give them Kevin Shanilak's guide. So I'll link that in the description. I'm also going to link Angelo DiLullo's equanimity playlist that helps work on reactivity no matter where you are in the fetter process. When you're doing this precise fetter work, really seeing what triggers you and can you stay with that sensation, you'll start to notice that even if the fetter weakens, in my case, the fetter weakened, I had these glorious experiences, deep realization, where it's like, oh my God, in direct experience, all there is sensation here. There's literally no reason to react. There's nothing to change about how anyone shows up or anything that's happening in life. I don't care if I hit my car against a pole, which actually did happen last week. I don't care if my sweetheart is being irritable, which does happen from time to time. There's nothing to change. There's nothing to argue about those experiences which trigger sensation in the body, right? And so why is that so important? That is really important because when you directly experience that whatever sensation you are having is bearable, and whatever even discomfort you are experiencing is bearable, you are free, okay? Here we were abandoning our sensation when something happened in the world that we didn't want to be happening, or when we didn't get what we did want to be happening. Leapfrogging past our own lived experience, abandoning ourselves to argue with things out here. it's like we're boxing with ghosts, okay? We're just boxing with ghosts because typically the things out here are actually representing repressed, deep repressed emotion and things that happened way when we were way younger, okay? I like to say we should all frame our unmet needs, literally put them in a frame and put them above the breakfast table so that when we're eating breakfast, lunch, and dinner, we're just noticing what's running the show, right? Because those unmet needs are out for blood. They are running the show. And another way to say unmet need is at what age was there sensation or emotion and you had to repress it to survive, and you disappeared, disassociated into the thought world. So when you're doing this direct, precise Fetter's work and you pull in the trigger, okay, I'll make another video that goes into it step by step. And for now, I'm going to add those other beautiful videos into the description so you can look at them and learn more. When you're going through this work and you identify the trigger statement and you pull it out and you're noticing what are the sensations coming on in the body, and you're not going into, well, of course he shouldn't be grumpy with me, or of course my children should be picking up their toys, they're the ones who got them out, right? That's all thought. That is still reactivity. We're not looking to go there. It doesn't matter what the justification is for reactivity. We're looking to stay with our own emotional field of sensation, if you will. We're just leaving ourselves and we're boxing with ghosts. And that is what you will come to see deeper and deeper. Oh my God, there is no sensation I cannot bear. There is no discomfort I cannot be with. All sensation is welcome here. All discomfort is welcome here. And there's nothing I have to do about it but feel it. Okay? Realizing that, you stay with what's here. You stay with what's here and you look around in your direct experience. What is the reason then to react? Why? Why do people need to be different? Why do experiences need to be different? And particularly, you are going to choose a statement, right? We're staying with that statement. Why do I have to react? Okay? What is the reason, and can you find it in your direct experience? If you keep reacting, the reason must be there. It must exist. Where is it? Another way to put it is, so what? So what the children aren't picking up the toys? So what your lover is being grumpy with you in the morning? It doesn't mean you have to like it, but you can bear those sensations, okay? And you will directly experience this if you take up this deep dynamic Fetters 4 and 5 work, which is life holding out an invitation to total freedom, truly. I like to say there's a divine butler now that keeps appearing. He's an invisible divine butler. He's kind of balding and he has a little jacket. And he's serving me up reactivity, okay? And it's what I'm ordering. So it's perfect. Is the divine butler is like serving exactly what I'm ordering off the menu. I'm ordering greater awareness and clarity on what the hell is keeping me bound to constantly grabbing for what I want and pushing away what I don't, when all I want is to be here exactly as it is. And that starts with staying with the sensation. It starts with staying with whatever emotions are coming up with you and not arguing that they shouldn't have done that or I should be getting more of that. No. Shoo, you're gone. Once you go there, you're gone. Can you stay? And if on any level you're resisting that, or it feels so uncomfortable, you feel like you're going out of your skin, we practice again and again to even stay with that. You can bear it. Anything that comes up, you can bear your own sensation and your own lived experience. How do I know that 100% beyond a shadow of the doubt? Okay, I'm going to give you the answer, but don't use like your textbook mind to like pick it apart. The reason I know it is because it's here. Because the system, if you will, the system, the body is registering this sensation. That is how I know it's supposed to be here and you can bear it. You can bear anything that the system can register. If you can sense it, just via the fact that it's showing up means you can bear it. Okay, so really grok that. Pause the video, rewind it if you need to. You can bear every sensation. There is no discomfort so uncomfortable it's not meant to be here, to be stayed with. Okay? And wow, doing this work, there is such a dynamic freedom. I'll give one sweet little story. I went home from the women's circle in which we did this inquiry, the women's circle I attend. I went home and I parked the car at the gate right at the beginning of our land. And it wasn't me making any of these decisions, by the way. It was just so much energy moving through me. Life was flowing through me. It was like once I saw there was no reason to react with whatever the particular reactivity was that evening, it was energetics just buzzing, moving through the system, right? I parked the car and I just danced. I played music. My kids were sleeping way, way down the yard. Couldn't hear the music. Parked the car under the stars, danced. It wasn't me dancing. It was freedom dancing. It was joy dancing. It was aliveness dancing. And that aliveness and freedom and joy was not dependent on what anyone was saying or doing. It wasn't dependent on how any experience was unfolding. Freedom from reactivity is dancing under the stars for the pure thrill of sensation and finally being only here without the layers of desire and aversion constantly taking you from here, leapfrogging you past the sensation of living now in this eternal timeless now. Very joyful. Another night after inquiry, getting to a new place somatically. I mean, truly, you do this work and a somatic shift will happen. Maybe not right away, but maybe right away. You look and you see directly there is no reason to react. I'm just leaving my own sensations. Oh my gosh. Another night parked there and it just spontaneously put a giant blanket up on the windshield, just laid there, looked at the stars. I mean, it must have been a half an hour or more. 4 shooting stars came out. And every wish was more unbinding, please. Yes, please, thank you. You know, the shooting star comes, you make a little wish. I said, I want more of this. I want that divine butler to serve up anything else I need to see about reactivity so I can get way down to the bottom of whatever repressed emotion the body still says, leapfrog past, right? And argue. I want to see it all, right? That was my wish. And I'm getting all my shooting star wishes because after initial weakening, now it almost is the opposite. It's like sped up. Now there's reactivity everywhere and I'm here for it. So that's my invitation to you. I'm going to stop now. I could say so much more. This is such enlivening work. I mean, you want to get free? You want to be free of suffering? You want to vibrate with the heartbeat of the cosmos? That's very flowery language. It's all right here and now. Okay, this is the invitation. Reactivity is an exit from here. Okay, reactivity is a resistance to sensation and feelings, but you don't have to go anywhere. You get to stay with all of them and truly come home to here. And what is here worth coming home to? It will reveal. It will dawn. Any words I say don't even compare to it. But words could be said like ease, freedom, spontaneity, boundless joy, boundless acceptance for what is, playfulness. Oh, so much playfulness. That's what's here. And we keep running from here. I'm inviting you to come back. Stay. If you're interested in working with someone to bust through the fetters and wake up to all that is, please contact me. I love this work. I'm passionate about it. And be sure to check out those links that I put in the description for the precise inquiry work because it truly is quite beautiful and quite enlightening, i.e. there's only enlightenment. There's no you. Much love, much aloha. Mwah.